On the 27th of January every year since 2001, we commemorate Holocaust Memorial Day. We remember the 6 million Jewish people who were systematically persecuted and murdered by the Nazis and their collaborators or helpers. Look closely at the picture on the screen. There is a light in the middle. Remember this light, as we will come back to this later in the assembly. Holocaust is the word used to describe the Nazi persecution and mass murder of 6 million Jews in Germany and other parts of Europe. The Holocaust began with persecution. In this picture, Michael Siegel, a lawyer, is paraded barefoot through the streets of Munich with a board around his neck because he dared to complain to the police about the unlawful arrest of a Jewish owner of a department store. Jews were ridiculed and forced to perform demeaning acts. This picture shows Jews being made to scrub the pavement. As soon as Hitler assumed power, he began to persecute Jews. This included the boycotting of Jewish businesses. The signs read, "Germans, defend yourselves, don't buy from the Jews." In 1935, the Nuremberg laws were passed that denied Jews many of their civil rights. Jews lost their German citizenship. The picture here shows how Nazis put people into different categories and treated certain groups very badly. Over time, Jews were stripped of everything, their assets, their homes and their businesses. During this period, because of their persecution, thousands of Jews began to flee from Germany. After Germany invaded Poland in September 1939, triggering World War II, the Nazis' persecution of Jews intensified. They rounded them up and forced them to live in one area of a town or city, in a ghetto. The ghettos were fenced off with barbed wire and guarded. Conditions in the ghettos were very poor. They were overcrowded with up to 7 or 8 people sharing one room. Very few homes had running water, and fuel and food were in very short supply. Jews in Germany and occupied countries were required by law to wear a yellow badge on their clothes. The badge was a yellow Star of David with the word Jude in the centre, meaning Jew. The badges marked the wearer as an enemy of the Germans and were intended to be worn as a badge of shame. The Germans began to deport Jews from the ghettos to the concentration camps. Jews were told that they were going to a better place. In reality, the concentration camps were prison camps. Their heads were shaved and they were given numbers. Their serial numbers were also tattooed on their bodies. They were made to wear striped uniforms with a yellow Star of David badge. Jewish people were forced to do hard physical labour. They were given very little food. Many died from the harsh conditions, disease and starvation. One of the biggest camps was Auschwitz. At least 1.3 million people were sent there between 1940 and 1945, and more than 1.1 million people died there. Many Jews in the concentration camps were used in cruel and inhumane medical experiments that caused many Jews to die. Jadwiga Zido, a Holocaust survivor, shows scars on her leg from medical experiments performed by German doctors. In 1942, the Nazis came up with the final solution to the Jewish problem. Operation Reinhard was the code name given to their secret plan to exterminate all of the Jews in occupied Poland. The deadliest phase of the Holocaust was marked by the introduction of purpose-built extermination or death camps. The Nazis also killed more than 11 million people from other groups they did not consider worthy of life. These include Roma, people with mental and physical disabilities, homosexuals, and anyone who spoke out against them. The Holocaust came to an end when the Allies, the United States, France, Great Britain, and the Soviet Union, defeated Germany in 1945. Allied soldiers discovered the death camps and released the remaining prisoners. By the end of the Holocaust, more than 6 million Jewish men, women, and children had been murdered in ghettos, mass shootings, hangings, in concentration camps, in death camps, and on death marches. After the war, the Allies set up a court to try Nazi leaders for their crimes. The biggest trial took place in 1945 to 1946 in Nuremberg, Germany. After this trial, 7 Nazi leaders went to prison and 10 were hanged. Holocaust Memorial Day takes place each year on the 27th of January. It was first held in January 2001. Holocaust Memorial Day is held on the anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz concentration camp on the 27th of January 1945. Holocaust Memorial Day remembers the 6 million Jews murdered by the Nazis under the dictatorship of Adolf Hitler between 1941 and 1945. The Nazis murdered about 2/3 of Europe's Jewish population, 7 out of every 10 Jews. Sadly, more genocides have taken place in more recent years. On Holocaust Day, we also remember the millions of people who have been killed or affected in places like Cambodia, Rwanda, Bosnia, and Darfur. Today, many countries have Holocaust Remembrance Days to remember the victims of the Holocaust and of other genocides. The main aim of Holocaust Remembrance Day is to prevent such terrible atrocities from happening again. Genocide is a process which begins with discrimination, racism, and hatred. Holocaust Memorial Day reminds people of what can occur when prejudice and persecution are left unchallenged. It is a day which reminds us how important it is not to spread messages of hate or to exclude people because of things like the colour of their skin or what religious beliefs they have. We can also learn from those people who survived the Holocaust. Ava Moses Kaul is a survivor of the Holocaust. Ava was a twin and was used in medical experiments by Dr. Joseph Mengele. She still travels the world and tells her story and how she was eventually able to forgive him. Ava founded the organisation Candles, Children of Auschwitz Nazi Deadly Lab Experiment Survivors. Through the organisation, she found 122 other survivors of Dr. Mengele. She aims to educate the public about the Holocaust and the power of forgiveness. Remember the light at the beginning of the assembly? Be the light in the darkness is the theme for Holocaust Memorial Day in 2021. It encourages everyone to reflect not only on the depths humanity can sink to, but also on the ways individuals can respond to darkness. Holocaust Memorial Day enables us to remember that everyone can help to tackle prejudice, discrimination, and intolerance wherever they see it. Can you be the voice that remembers history? Can you be the kind word? Can you be the helping hand? Can you be the light in someone's darkness?